Tower defense fans, bullet hell fans, are you ready to rock? It's Bardbarian. Bardbarian is a hybrid game of those two genres that can be found for $8 on Steam. You play as Brad, a retired barbarian who has decided to settle down for the life he's always wanted, making music. But hordes of enemy monsters want to destroy his town's decorative and not very important magic crystal, so it's up to him to step up and lead the people. Not with a barbarian's axe, but with a Bardbarian's axe. Using music notes that Brad generates over time, you can summon units from your town to fight for you. There are a lot of them, which lends for some serious variety in strategizing. I did a wizard ninja shaman combo myself. You start off with 3 party members, and when you get the right upgrades, you can have up to 9. Brad himself can't attack since he uses his loot to cast attack, speed, and armor buffs using his notes as well. Your units do all the fighting for you as you stay on the move to not get mowed down by the bullet hell projectiles that enemies throw at you. I'll not lie, as a tower defense game, this is very much on the easy and unbalanced side. Because of the permanent upgrades you can purchase with in-game gold, your units go from an equal challenge to an overwhelming fighting force. Late game, I was literally juggling the most powerful enemies in the game without breaking a sweat. Sheer number of party members and diversity of powers leaves you laying the smackdown with little to no effort until the final 1 or 2 waves of the campaign's 20. Speaking of the campaign, it's arranged into 4 chapters: morning, noon, evening, and night, which makes little sense since the lighting doesn't change and the town itself doesn't change in any way during any of these 4 times. I guess if you had to name the portions of your game something, these are as good as any, but even tilting the shade slider just a bit to represent night would have been fine. This is actually my biggest problem with Bardbarian, a lot of missed opportunities and details. Enemy types are extremely limited, shading the same goblin-like enemies several times before jumping to these charging Chuck guys, and then straight up to freaking beholders. Even if you were going to use stock fantasy enemies, and they do, there needed to be way more variety here. When upgrading units, the town, and Brad himself, you spend a ton of in-game gold. It feels like a bit of a grind to get everything, but there are 2 other game modes to make things a bit easier. Escape mode is a sort of endless running game where you collect gold and dodge obstacles while a giant beholder harasses you with its eye beams. Yours truly is on the leaderboards for this one, as you can see here. Survival mode has you in an arena of endless enemies and none of your purchased upgrades are available, where you try to survive as long as you can and obtain gold. Once you've purchased all the upgrades in the main campaign, only waves 19 and 20 are really of any consequence, another sign of bad balancing issues on the game's part. The achievements are perfectly doable, finish each chapter, purchase all the upgrades, post a high score on a leaderboard, etc. Nothing too crazy other than the final one. Post a high score on Insane Mode's Day 2 leaderboard. Day 2 is what happens after the 20th wave and begins an endless mode to see how long you can survive. I couldn't get on the leaderboard in normal modes, and this final achievement wants me to do it on Insane? I'll pass. I got all the other achievements anyway, so I'm gonna call it done. Bardbarian is a good game, but a difficult one to actually recommend to a friend. Its badly scaling units skew the difficulty of the game to the point of silliness, and the lack of enemy types was disappointing. But its very unique mashup of the tower defense and bullet hell genres made it an interesting and genuinely exciting experience. I'd say check it out if it's on sale or if you're really into both of the aforementioned gaming genres.